Hey Rick, how are you?
Good, Mark.
I'm so happy that we're finally getting to talk because I was going to actually host your Q&A, and
Oh
the
man,
winter weather ruined it for us. So it's great to be able to chat with you.
yeah, I was bummed. I mean, I've lived in Texas a number of years, and when I saw that thing coming through, and I was like, people, it's real. And unfortunately, it is. It's just kind of the nature of the weather patterns that we deal with now. But I hope this weekend gives you a chance to go escape and go to the theaters and watch a big ass ride.
Well, the good news is it's lightened up. The ice is mostly melted off, so people have no excuse not to go and see a movie. So
I
I'm very
love it.
happy that
I
the
love it.
timing of this is great. So thanks so much for talking to me. I've really enjoyed your films, and I particularly enjoyed this. There's a lot of aspects of it I wanted to ask you about, but I guess the key ones would be, first of all, great cast. Jason, of course, is great. Bill Nighy's terrific. Naomi Aggie's great. But the one that really blew me away was Bodhi Ray. Is it Brethnock? Is that how I say her last name?
Brannick.
Brannick. I apologize. I
Yep.
apologize. She was wonderful, and I was watching the whole time I was watching the film. I was thinking, I know I've seen her before, and I realized, oh, I just saw her in Hamnet. So like,
Yep.
she's terrific, and I think you really nailed it with that casting.
She's on her way. What makes Bodhi so great is that she's really authentic. She's not a kid at her age that's well rehearsed and knows her lines because her parents are helping her and is like I call a Cheerios kid. Like she is really super deep and profound and grounded and coming from a real place with her emotion. And you know it because when you see it on camera and what we've experienced in the room with her, even her first chemistry read with Jason, we looked at 500 girls, and the minute we put her with Jason, we knew that was Jesse. Like it was undeniable. And when you get that type of chemistry and that type of authenticity between two people, you just get out of the way and let them fly.
Yeah, and plus you need someone like that because Jason's character in this movie is such a strong silent type that you need her to kind of be that, little bit of levity and humanity to kind of like, soften him up a bit. And I think she plays that so well. And yes, you're right, their chemistry was terrific.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I also want to talk about the action scenes in particular. Obviously, you're no stranger to working with action scenes, even being in them yourself. But one of the things I really liked about this film was I felt like the action scenes were very raw in the sense that, like, when there's a fist fight going on, you might pick up a kitchen utensil, or, like when the car chases were happening, it felt very, like, rough and not, it didn't have that Hollywood polish. And I love that. I love that
Mm.
it felt raw and natural. And this is what it would really be like.
Yeah, I mean, for action for me, especially from the world that I come from, I want you to feel what I did. I want you to be immersed in action where you feel like you're participating in it versus watching it.
Yeah.
And once you get that immersion, the most important thing is going to be emotion. So if you are driven by emotion and driven by character, then the action moments are different than something that's dictated by choreography, right? It's what is raw in the moment. And it also helps when you have a movie star like Jason Statham that lives and breathes this in real life of being a real fighter and being a martial artist and living his life very physical. Then you're allowed to take him in these places and do it physically for real and put the audience in that car, put them in the fight, put them in these moments where they feel like they're living and breathing it with Jason Statham.
Yeah. I love that. And in the lighthouse sequences, I imagine some of that had to be really challenging to shoot. Of course, there may be some Hollywood magic going on there that I'm just not picking up on, like just how much was actually, adjusted in post. But that was shot in mostly Ireland. Am I correct?
Yeah, we built a full-scale lighthouse, living quarters, everything on the cliffs in Ireland. And I love real world places. I love inclement weather. I love when it makes you shiver and makes you feel the real place. I grew up in some of the action movies I did where like Hook, where you're on a sound stage for months on end and everybody's falling asleep and tired and yawning. And then you just don't have that type of kinetic energy that real environments give you. And so I'm always an advocate of shooting on real locations. that comes with challenges, you know. With the Greenland Migration, the movie I just did as well, of, you know, when you have hundreds of people on the beach trying to get into frigid waters in these lifeboats, that's all live action done for real in zero temperatures, you know. And so there's a lot of um, factors that go into safety and taking care of people and so forth, but you just can't fake that stuff, you know. There, when it's real, we know it's real.
Is the lighthouse still there?
No, we had to strike it because it's a historical site area of where they
Yeah,
allowed us to film it. Um, some of the real abandoned lighthouses we wanted to go to, you just could never put that many people into those environments. So you have to
absolutely.
find out where you can bring your circus, you know, and park your circus to go make it real. And so you build it in real ways. And it's also the way they do action, you know, even if some things could be visual, you know, enhanced with visual effects. I don't do my action that way. The action should always be real, no matter what, in front of camera.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about before I know they got to get you on to another interview. One of the things I liked about this film was that it almost serves as a cautionary tale in terms of privacy and everyone being on camera like at all times. Like our lives are no longer as private as we would like them to be, and so it kind of begs that question of, you know, don't live your life with something to hide because they're going to find you at some point.
It's that, and it's on the bigger thematic of like, what is justice nowadays? You know, where's our own moral compass? What is that line in the sand? What is right or wrong? And really feel like we've lost our way. And that's not my opinion as far as I'm trying to put in the movie. It's more of having a conversation about it. You know, go be entertained for big 2 hours, go to the theaters. This is a big ass ride, great emotion. I love the performances in it. And hopefully you're talking about it on the way out, you know, of like, where are we at right now and how do we find our center again on what is our own morality mean and how we, which is the biggest thing to take away, is not to be puppets, you know, to be like what Michael Mason did and stood up to his own line in the sand and to his own convictions.
Yeah, absolutely. Rick, thanks so much for talking to me. And when your next movie comes out, let's do what we plan to do. Come
I
back,
will be in
bring it to
Dallas,
Dallas.
brother. I will be there.
I'll be with you. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
All right.